Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today is the full moon reading for the sign of Virgo. Alright, we're going to get right into it and pull your wild unknown animal spirit for this period of the full moon in Taurus of May 18th. So this reading is really for the next 2 to 4 weeks, at least until the next new moon, if not until the next full moon. It's the timeline for it really. And that's, you know, how I'll be reading the energies, what's just coming from the last round of the full moon into this new cycle. But I'm reading today on the actual full moon, May 18th, and the video will be uploaded. So let's get your animal spirit up, my lovely Virgos. Okay, earth sign, born in the month of September. Beautiful Virgos. All right. Here's the animal spirit for this full moon for Virgos, May 2019. Show me. Show me for Virgo is feeling. Energies, animal spirit energies for Virgo this period. Alright, here we go. Alright, Virgo, your animal spirit for this full moon is the hummingbird. Beautiful air energy. Right, element of air, and then we have also the spider, which is earth, element of earth, that upside down triangle with a line through it. Right, so hummingbird is beautiful, is a beautiful card. It's talking about the hummingbird is very inspirational, right? He's got very deep insight because the hummingbird, you know, goes from flower to flower, finding the nectar, right? So he's able to use all of his senses. He's got keen senses, right? Hummingbirds also imply grace, right? Elegance, beauty. They're very resourceful. If you've ever seen a hummingbird, their wings fly very, very fast, but it seems as if they're not moving hardly at all, right? There's like quickness and stillness all at the same time, which is a beautiful energy for this card. And it is air, element of air, but it's a beautiful thing about hummingbirds, how they can be so fast and yet be so still. They're very resourceful, you know. It's a joyful animal spirit, right? So it encourages joy in life, you know, being enthusiastic about life. You know, hummingbird is by nature enthusiastic. You know, the amount of flowers going, needing to know where to go and all of that. You know, that's a, you know, there's a natural kind of optimism that goes along with this animal spirit. So you're feeling good. You're feeling optimistic. You're feeling spiritual. You have a lot of insight right now, right? But there's air energy, so you're feeling sociable, I think. But at the same time, you're feeling still within yourself, Virgo, right? I know you Virgos need your solitude sometimes. That's certainly to ground yourself. But let's see what the energy is on the read this month, this full moon for Virgos, May 2019. Give me a nice clear reading for Virgos. Warnings, affirmations, reaffirmations, admonishments, anything you want to show to Virgos for this full moon period. Period of harvest. It's the new moon that you plant the seeds for your inspiration, and at the full moon you begin to harvest things that come out of that, you know, what comes towards you. This card is flipped, the Tower. So harvest is the full moon is a time to begin to see what all of your deeds are returning, what your return is, you know, on the investments you've made in terms of spiritually, emotionally, and physically. Show me, give me a clear message. It's funny, the Tower flipped over for you. So big changes for you, Virgo. All right, we're going to get into each card in turn for the lunar readings. I do a circular pattern spread, and I take each card one by one instead of turning them all over at once, because it tells more of a story. Kind of reading the story of the cycle of the moon for this period. And at the center you have a decision to be made. 2 of Swords covered by 10 of Cups. Wow. A decision in love, right? Big changes for you. Very big changes. The Tower card insisted on flipping over. I'm curious about that spider energy as well. The spider is earth energy, and I just want to quickly check, consult the book on this, because the spider energy is quite tricky. There's a lot to that, and I'm wondering now with that Tower, why the spider. Dharma, that's it. The spider, that's the word I was looking for. Dharma. The spider is all about Dharma. So where karma is work on a spiritual plane, right? In terms of life and reincarnation and working out spiritual debts, I guess. Dharma is your life's work. It's the way you practice your life. It's the practice that you employ every day. It's how you go through life. It's your belief systems. Your dharma is your belief. You know, for instance, if you're a Catholic, you can go to church and you believe in that doctrine, and you live your life according to that. For instance, you know, Sabbath and etc., and all of this, right? If that's dharma, that's an example of someone's dharma and someone following their dharma. That's dharma. A lot of people aren't that familiar with dharma versus karma. But the spider is all about that, and it reminds us to be creative in life. Remember, you see the web is so creative, the colors. The spider is very creative, and the spider takes into account of everything. So it's very astute, very very kind of like busy, right? Busy, always attentive. That's the word I'm looking for. The spider is attentive, right? He's focused. He's kind of he lives in the moment, right? So that is Dharma. Dharma is also practicing always in the moment your belief systems, you know, at all times adhering to them. All right, so that's interesting that will come out at the bottom of the deck when you have also the Tower card flipping over. So major change and upheaval, right? Tower means you have an upheaval from enlightenment, right? There's divine intervention has come in. So when a tower moment is a moment that rocks your foundations spiritually, emotionally, and physically as well. Sometimes can imply even like moving and things like that. But in the middle of the deck, in the middle of the spread for this full moon period, you have a decision to make. You're wrestling with yourself, Virgo, right? 2 of Swords is the card of wrestling with yourself, if you can see that image there, right? It's actually one being with 2 minds. So, you know, what's the decision? You're not really sure, right? Because you're wrestling with yourself. You can't make the decision on face value. The moon is there, which indicates that you're not seeing the whole picture. And so you have to go inside. The card is kind of like, lets you know that in order for you to decide what to do in this scenario, you have to go deeper. You can't just take what's at face value. And what's at stake here is your family, your happy home life, your relationships, 10 of Cups, right? So that's your beautiful, happy family, right? And that's crossing it. So there's a decision to be made and a death at the bottom. Something has changed. You've gone through a huge change, Hermit. Something has come through and really upset your home life, basically. And there's a big decision for you to make right now. The Death card is here along with the Tower. When these 2 cards come up in the same spread, that means that's sweeping change, right? That's reinventing yourself. It could also be coming through, for instance, a divorce, a separation, a change in career, a move, a heartbreak, anything like that, a spiritual awakening. You could be having an epiphany. Those are the type of things that happen when you have a Death and Tower moment, because everything, it changes. You not only do you have a change to your belief system, but it's evidenced in your physical, right? In your material and your physical realm, your emotional realm. You've really gone through the fire. And then here's the Hermit. So you've been forced to be alone, right? At some point, something's happened where you've had to go away, I believe, from this family, from this environment. The world. Could this be it? I'm not sure if this is a marriage. I'm not sure if this is a marriage or relationship, right? Is this something that you want? This decision is being impacted by this Ten of Cups energy, right? And it could be that either this is coming in for you, or you've lost it, or you're about to lose it, right? Let's go further. The world, you've come from a period where you've just realized, you've just felt yourself as like seeing all things. The world card talks about seeing yourself in the world. You see your place in the world. You understand how you fit in with the world, right? You're able to make the better decisions now. You know what your path is. You figured out what your path is. It's funny that Dharma comes up, that the spirit animal that is the essence of Dharma, because the world is really like, when this card comes up, it talks about understanding your path, seeing the bigger picture, and really knowing why you're here, knowing what you're meant to do, being confident about it, and going about doing it. So you've had an epiphany of sorts, I believe. Look at this, the Fool. So far, we've had nothing but major arcana cards, except for at the center. This is major arcana, major arcana. This is a huge moment for you, Virgo. You're having a very kind of once-in-a-lifetime moment. It's like as if everything is happening almost out of your hands. You're on a path. You're almost feeling like, it's not, I don't want to say that you're out of control, but it's not like you're, things are unfolding, and it's like, there's nothing really that you could have done about it. It's kind of your life is hitting you right now. You're just having to move with the waves. You're on a new path. You certainly feel like you're about to start a new journey. Definitely about to start a new journey. It could be this card. I just don't. It's, you know what? Let me keep going. I want to clarify this card in a minute, because I don't necessarily feel like that this is a divorce or an unhappy breakup. I feel like this is almost somebody breaking away, or having to make a decision to break away from a society or a family or a place that they feel almost like, the son or the daughter who lives in a small town where they love everybody and they have everything that they need, but now they're stepping out into the world. Something has happened and has almost forced their hand, and they feel like they can no longer stay where they have to stay. And it's time to move out in the world. You have Knight of Swords. So somebody's definitely on the move. It could be you, Virgo, or it could be somebody that's come in for you, right? This could be the message that's caused everything to change. I feel like this is definitely, so like you've been in a really comfortable situation, Virgo, right? You've been at ease. You've been comfortable. I don't necessarily think that this is a divorce or like a sad or like a unhappy or desperate moment like this, but you've been in a very comfortable environment where you've been around family and friends, and you felt very happy and satisfied, but something's come in, a message of some kind. It could be news, it could be something that you've read, something has come in, you've had some kind of communication that's hit you, right? And it could be in person, you might have had a conversation with someone, or it may be that you're at school or you were at work or something like that, and something's come along and it's really affected you, right? And you feel like suddenly this moment has led to a total upheaval in your life, a total change, a total turnaround, a death of who you were or what you believed in. You had to go away and gather your thoughts, I think, Virgo, and meditate on what was going on. It's almost like you had an epiphany. It's funny that I mentioned that word earlier on in the video, but I feel like that's what you're going through. This message has come through and has led to this kind of epiphany, and you're ready to move on. And the decision that's hard to make is because you have had such a level of comfort and protection and support from your family, so it's hard to make that decision to leave or to change or to do something that was not expected of you, but you just can't help it. Ace of Swords is here as well. So again, this is a new idea has come to you, and you feel almost victorious. You almost feel like, finally now the penny has dropped. It could be something that you've been waiting for a long time. You could have been feeling very out of place for a long time, and now because of all of this upheaval and change, you actually feel more comfortable than you ever felt before. Suddenly things make sense to you. It could be that you got messages from family, from old relatives, an inheritance, or some kind of news about your heritage. something like that, right? But before this came through, I don't feel that you were as comfortable. And strangely enough, I feel like you're at ease now. You almost feel vindicated. You almost feel as though, oh man, for all these years, everything that I've been feeling, it is actually true and I was right, right? Somehow that's just what I feel, right? So now and then coming towards you is some abundance. You're going to get some financial abundance. It could be a windfall, or it just could be because you feel like now you know what your path is, right? You know where you're going, the World Cup. You just come out of realizing what your destiny is, and once you do that, things tend to fall into place and the money tends to come, right? So Six of Discs is the benefactor. He's the one, he's not hugely rich, but he's wealthy enough that he can benefactor, he can help, right? People search him out for help, and that he saves some for himself as well, right? So he's at a good position. You're at a good position, right? And that's coming through. And then Ace of Pentacles, a whole new opportunity, a solid opportunity for something very real that's going to bring you a lot of abundance and a lot of material satisfaction. It could be a job, or it could be part of this whole change. Absolutely, it's part of this whole change. It's coming on the back end of this whole change. But something definitely that was something's been on the cards for a very long time, and it's come to fruition. At the bottom of the deck is Knight of Wands. So again, that's the Knight of Wands comes in fast, passionate, right? He's on fire, right? And this could be you as well. You've been set on fire, I believe, right? You've almost been ignited. This news has hit you. It may have hit you very hard, and you've had to go and meditate, but now you're coming out of it. You're definitely feeling like the fool on a new adventure. It's interesting with this reading. It's circular, but there's a square. So you have this pattern, this cross pattern, and these kind of relationals, right? And relationships between the cards and their positioning. So it's funny that you have, after this death, you went right into hermit mode, but now on top of that, you're coming out as the fool. You're ready. And look, I love this card because he's like giving the world his ass to kiss, right? So that's kind of also a little bit of the energy that you might be feeling as well, coming out of it. Like, hey, you thought you were going to bring me down, but you're not. And thank you to my family who do love me, right? You do have a family who do love you, and they're going to be your rock. But the decision that you have to make is yours and yours alone to make, right? Let's get some clarity from the Thoth deck. This is a really interesting read, Virgo. Big changes. I really feel like it could be something, like I said, it could be something to do with your heritage, what you found out about, some news, some long-lost family legacy stuff. It could be something at work. It could be anything, right? But something has affected you, and it's made kind of an impact on you. Right? And that's what we call, sometimes you do have an epiphany when you realize, oh, this is what I want to do. Or you've been at the same job for a long time, right? And then suddenly something happens and your eyes open up and you realize, oh my, you change, everything changes, but it's for the good. It's growing pains, it's difficult, it's not easy, but all of it is for the good. And you kind of embrace it with like this passion because your eyes are opened, But you definitely went through a difficult period, and underneath that there is that sense of wanting to hermit yourself away from it all, but you're coming out of that. You're going to face it all. You're going to be strong. Give me a clear clarity reading on these cards, please, for Virgo, for this full moon reading. Give me some clarity. Interesting. All right. So let's get this clarified a little bit. I hope you can see. Yeah, you can see all that cards. All right, here we go. Yeah, Queen of Discs on the clarity of the death, right? Looking back, prudence on the Hermit card. 10 of Discs, that's ruin. That's where you came out of to feel like you know where you now are. 4 of Swords is that truce to clarify the Fool. You have 5 of Cups up there for Knight of Swords. So there was a disappointment somewhere. Here we go with that 2 of Swords again, coming in to clarify the Ace of Swords. We have the Lovers, beautiful, and 8 of Cups, clarify the Ace of Pentacles. And at the bottom we have the Prince of Discs. So that's the same. In some decks would be the Knight, right? But here it's the Prince of Discs in the Thoth deck coming in. Wow. So, yeah, you know, this death has happened. You know, you had that, and it's like Queen of Discs, right? You're looking back now. The death, when you come through that death, you realize you're in even more of a fertile position. You're in a place you've worked very hard. You were in a barren land, and now that this news has come through, everything has changed, and this is how you see yourself now. Looking back, having gone through the fire, having survived, having grown up, right? And this Hermit card is like you've gone away and you realize that you have to exercise prudence, right? Eight of Discs, because there's a lot of discs here, so there's money involved, and you have to exercise some prudence to protect what you've already, you know, worked so hard for. It could be that's why you went into your hermit mode, because you were afraid that perhaps what you have worked for so hard on all this time and that you've kind of like accomplished would be in danger, right? And so there was a period as well, and coming out of all of this news has come in. I feel like this tower moment that's come in. Here's the Ten of Swords. It was a ruinous moment, right? Ten of Swords is kind of like a tower moment too, because the Ten of Swords talks about the death of the ego. So when everything, you know, the swords being your own actions, actually, right? So 10 is closure, it's completion, and it starts a new cycle. But in the Suit of Swords, it talks about this harmony and discord. So the new cycle comes after a lot of discord and disharmony, right? The 10 swords are attacking the main sword, right? And finally destroy it, ruin it, right? And that's the death of the old ego. You realize it's a realization that who you were no longer serves the purpose. That the person you were before has to die in order for you to be reborn into a new person, and a person who's learned lessons, he's evolved, matured, maybe taken a spiritual leap, perhaps maybe closed some karmic cycles, right, and paid off some karmic debt. But that comes after kind of a mini death of the old self. And after the result of that was where you then find yourself feeling like you're part of the world. You know, you come out of this tower moment, awaken, and you realize who you are, and you know what your path is now. It was difficult, though. It was hard. It's always hard to do something. It's always hard to come out on top or to come through and have a realization. Those things aren't easy. Babies are a beautiful thing, but they're very hard to deliver. Right? They're not easy to deliver, and they're beautiful. They're the most beautiful thing in the world is to have a baby, but it's extremely difficult. It's extremely difficult to have one, right? So therein lies the duality of life. It's the suffering. It's through the suffering that we have the enlightenment sometimes. It's unfortunate, but that's how it goes. Truce is your Fool card. So Four of Swords, you've come to a truce. You've come to an understanding and a realization, and now you're ready to move on. It's giving you a sense of wonderment. It's giving you a sense of enthusiasm, right? That's also the hummingbird energy. There was disappointment. You were very disappointed with this news that came through. Right? This Knight of Swords, information, news, contact, communication, whatever. It was a heartbreaking news. It was very disappointing in a lot of ways, but it was that spurs you on. That was the energy, right? It was a love disappointment. Could be to somebody who's really broken your heart. You've been waiting for them for a long time, and you realize, right, that you didn't need to wait for them. You're moving on. Again, peace. So here we go, Two of Swords. At the center of the reading is Two of Swords from the Deviant Moon deck. And here's the Two of Swords from the Thoth deck. And that's why I like to use different decks. I love different decks for different meanings that come through. Because in the Thoth deck, it talks about peace. Right? Having inner peace. It's the inner peace that you gain through meditation and going inward that allows you to make the decision. Right? Here, he's struggling with himself, right? And again, it's the same message, going within. As I said before, the moon shows us he must go within. He must stop the struggle and go within and kind of coalesce, come back together for a unified decision. But here it's even translated more in the imagery, right? That peace is what it takes to come to this decision. A sense of peace, and that could be as well why you went away, Hermit, right? To be able to get that sense of peace for yourself. Again, Ace of Swords. Another, you know, like I said, that Two of Swords is coming to clarify the Ace of Swords. So your decision is definitely coming on the back of this news that has come through, that has made you feel very vindicated, like I said, and very much at ease at home, feeling like the way you always felt like you should have been feeling. And here we go with Lover's Cup to clarify, as well as Six of Discs. So you come into this money, you're feeling, you know, and you're feeling the love, right? It could be that you call in your lover now. Now you're able to call in what you wanted. It could be, you know, it could be that on the back of this disappointment now that you've cleared this kind of obstacle, this karmic obstacle, especially with all these major arcana, that now your life is at a point where you can call in your soulmate, and that will be the next step. You know, it could be that all of this has been one big kind of like exercise for you to get you to the place where you can call in your lover if you're not attached. All right, and down here on the Ace of Pentacles, this offer coming in on a we've got the clarification card is indolence, right? So 8 of Cups, wanting a change. 8 of Cups talks about wanting a change in your relationships as well. You've had enough. You've had enough of relationships that you pour into and they don't give you anything back. So this offer that comes in, this Ace of Pentacles offer that comes in, you're going into it with this energy, having learned this lesson, having realized, right, out of all of this, that you're not going to play kind of that fool anymore, to continue to pour in to cups, into relationships, to peoples, to partnerships where they really don't serve you, right? And you're kind of just hoping for the best, and then you realize at the end that they were never going to serve you anyway. So definitely take that energy going into these new offers that you're getting, because you've learned something, right? And when you learn something, that's what you need to take with you. That's the wisdom. So let me just pull a couple of angel therapy cards for you just to get some clarity. I don't want the video to be too long, but this is a really beautiful read. Really going through something, Virgo, a big change, big upheaval and awakening. Give me 3 cards for Virgo. Warnings, reaffirmations, admonishments, helpful guides from the archangels to help Virgo on their way through this full moon period and this heavy time of decision making. Show us. These cards are jumpy. Clear message, please, for our lovely Virgos. Show me. Integrity. Third eye chakra. And Archangel Michael. There you go. So integrity, third eye chakra, Archangel Michael. So integrity, align your actions so that they match your values and inner knowingness of what's right for you. Always have integrity. You know, integrity is your link to your deeper consciousness and ultimately your soul. You know, it's your integrity that is the barometer to make sure you're in line with your soul. It's a feeling, right? So, of course, with all of this, you must employ integrity, especially with these messages coming in, because I do believe this involves money. It involves family, perhaps, but it definitely involves money, and I believe some level of emotional attachment. Third eye chakra. It is safe for you to see the energy of love in all of its forms, such as angels, auras, and visions. So when you see these things, right, it's okay, right? These are affirmations coming to you. These are messages. If this is what you believe in and you see them, then there you are. These are the affirmations that they want to, whatever you believe in, the ancestors, spirits, archangels, whatever it is you believe in are trying to show you. Archangel Michael, you're working very closely with this powerful archangel who's protecting and guiding you through the situation. Like I said, this is definitely a divinely kind of led, protected situation with all these major arcana. You're going through something that you were always meant to go through in this lifetime, and you have the angels on your side. So be open for their messages. All right, so this is your reading for the full moon cycle of May 2019. Okay, my lovely Virgos. If you resonated with this, please like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to hit the bell. The bell notifies you of all my video uploads, not just some of them. And for all of you who've subscribed and commented so far, thank you so much. And for now, I'm just going to say, happy full moon. Bye-bye.